Hello, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Early College 10th graders. This is Mr. Legg connecting with you on this week's ICAP lesson. Again, I'll reiterate this every time. ICAP is Individual Career and Academic Plan, and our goal is always to connect what you're doing now with what you're doing in the future. Before we dive too deep into that, I want to make sure that you are aware of your counselors and who you can contact regarding your academic needs, but not only your academic needs, but what you need in your life in order to be successful for your future. And so um, the counselors that work with you will be myself, Mr. Legg. I work with students last name A through L, or Miss Wickers, who works with students last name M through Z. Excuse me. You can also connect with our other counselors as well as our mental health team. So if you have a need and you just don't know how to figure it out, or you just want to be able to get something off your shoulders and get something off your chest, then you can go to this link that you'll see right below, bit.ly/DMLK cares. Again, bit.ly/DMLK cares. And you can just reach out, let us know that you want to hear from us, and we will contact you and make an appointment with you and sit down with you and help you out with whatever you may need. Again, that can be academic, that can be a question about your future, that can be about college, or that can be about something going on at home. That can be something going on with a friend. Whatever it may be, we're here to support you, and we need you to know that first and foremost. That is what's most important to us, is taking care of you. Other ways directly how to reach out to us: my phone number, my email. I have daily appointments with students, and that's, you'll see the bit.ly there, DMLK Mr. Legg, all caps. If you go to that site, you can make an appointment with me directly, and then you'll see Miss Wickers. You can text her, call her phone number. You can email her as well, and she has appointments as well. But do me a favor, call, text, or email her first, and she'll send you the information to do so. So, what I'm going to have you do today, I've got a lot of information, but very little for you actually that you have to do. So, first thing I'm going to have you do, log into your student portal in a separate tab. Just have that ready to go. You don't have to do anything right now, but just log onto your student portal in a separate tab. Also, have your phone handy to be able to take pictures of anything that you want to make sure to remember or go back to. All right. So, student portal, make sure to access that now and just open it up as a separate tab. When you get into that student portal, select my ICAP plan and then just sit tight. Come back to our meet and just sit tight on this meet, listen up, and I will get you to the point that you need to when you need to answer a question. So this is the only question we're answering today. This is your 10th grade, third quarter, question number 1. And that is, based on my current GPA, so based on my current grade point average, here are some Colorado schools or colleges that I could attend. We're going to ask you to list 2 or more. So again, 2 colleges or schools that you could attend based upon your current GPA. Don't answer that question yet. Let's get through this lesson to help better define that answer for you. So, post-secondary goals. You will often hear, or you may often hear in the future, us talk about post-secondary goals, and you may be wondering what it means. So what does post-secondary mean? Secondary school is an old term that used to be used for high school. So it's still used, but not very often. So when you hear secondary school, you should be hearing high school. Post means after. So post-secondary means after high school. So when we're talking about post-secondary goals, what we mean is what you want to do after high school. So just remember that, post-secondary goals, what you want to do after high school. So if anybody ever asks you that, what your post-secondary goals are, they're asking you, what do you want to do after high school? That can be college, that can be career, that can be military, That can be whatever your plans are for after you graduate. Now, if you recall, we talked about the different careers during our last lessons and how they're divided up. Again, not a perfect way that they're being divided up, but just giving you basic information on how jobs and careers are divided up in a way that's logical, that you can review and watch just by Googling them, or search and explore, not watch, but search and explore just by Googling them, or by going into Maya Learning, which we'll go into a little bit later, that'll help you dive in to a little bit more of what your interests may be. But it's not important for you to remember this. I'll continue to say that. It's not important for you to remember all of these different career fields. It's just important for you to understand that they're divided up in a way that hopefully is helpful to you to be able to explore them. So part of what we discussed last time is how your career should kind of align with your values, your interests, your skills, goals, education, and the vision you have for your future. So when you're deciding on a career, hopefully you're not just going in for choosing a career based upon money. Hopefully you're not just choosing it based upon how easy it is to do or how easy it is to get the education that you need. Hopefully it's what you want to do. It's what you value. It's what you're really interested in. It's what you feel like you have skills for. It's what you imagine yourself in the future doing, and it's what you are willing to pursue an education for to do. Because what we know is that even if you do not want to go to college, 70 to 80% of all current jobs out there require additional education or training. Now, that training could happen at the job, that training could happen at a community college or at a technical school or technical college. So, not necessarily a 4 year college like you often hear about. Um, it may require that you have some type of certification. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how we can help with that. And this will just be ongoing discussion that we'll have throughout the remainder of the year. So right now, when I talk about your post-secondary options, what I'm talking about is job and career. We're talking about possibly military. We're talking about technical school or technical college, community college, or college. Okay. So again, these are the 5 areas when we're talking about what you have the opportunity to do after you graduate and what you want to prepare for is either your career, military, technical school or technical college, community college, or college. Now, in general, when we talk about the military, we're talking about Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard. It feels a little silly, but I'll say it, Space Force, and the National Guard. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about military options. When we're talking about technical school or technical college, some of these that you may have heard of, Pickens Technical College, Lincoln College of Technology. We also have Emily Griffith Technical College, which is a Denver Public Schools technical college, and then Pima Medical Institute. So technical schools or technical colleges, if you don't like the term college, go with technical school. But those are programs that allow you to get a certification that you need in order to have the career that you want, and often will be better than just having a high school degree. So say, for instance, if you want to become an auto mechanic, if you want to work uh, in that field, you need to have a certification. You need to be able to prove that you're certified to be able to do that. If you want to be a certified nursing assistant, that's where you also often see Pima Medical Institute, or you want to become a dental assistant. You need to have a certification. You need to be certified by the state to be able to do it. And so Pickens Technical College, Emily Griffith Technical College, Lincoln College of Technology, Pima Medical Institute, these are all schools that offer that opportunity. So I want to make sure I did not list it here, but Emily Griffith is the Denver Public Schools option for technical schools that you can possibly take classes for while in high school, but most likely after high school. And then community colleges. We have Community College of Aurora and the Community College of Denver are 2 local options for community colleges. And community colleges can prepare you to just get a 2-year degree. Community colleges can help get you a certification, kind of like a technical school can, but usually don't have as many programs as a technical school has. Or you can go to a community college to prepare yourself to transfer to a college or university. So hopefully when you look at these options that I'm presenting, they represent kind of a diversity of options for you. I'm not listing career here right now because that's not what we're discussing. But of course, when you're talking about technical or technical college, you're talking about preparing for a career. Even in the military, if you get out of the military, hopefully what the military has done is prepared you well for a career after the military. And of course, community college and college do the same. Now, our focus is really going to be on college, technical school, or community college right now. When we look at Colorado public colleges, so this is a college or university with 4-year degrees. Here are some of the options that exist. Not all of them, but these are the public schools in Colorado. Adams State, Colorado School of Mines, Colorado State University, also known as CSU, Colorado Mesa University, Metropolitan State University of Denver, CU Boulder, CU Denver, University of Northern Colorado, also known as UNC, and Western State Colorado. So these are some of your options for public colleges. Feel free to take a picture of this, or feel free to take a picture here because it's something you might want to go back to. Now, hopefully you can get a good look at this. This is not something that is actively being used, but was being used previously. And this is what we call an index. And what the index does is it allows schools to kind of give you an idea of whether you're a good candidate to attend their school. So what you see on the left-hand side, where it says HSGPA, that's your high school GPA. So this is whatever your grade point average is. If you're a 4.0 student, that means you're mostly A's. If you are a 3.0 student, you're mostly B's. If you are a 2.0 student, you're mostly C's. And then below that is D's or F's. But if you look up top, what that has is SAT and ACT score. Now, hopefully these tests that you will be taking in the future will have less importance in terms of getting you into college. But the reality is right now, the SAT is a test that you should be taking your junior year and preparing for your sophomore year to be able to help you get scholarships and help you gain admission to school. And so if you'll go over to the far right, we're going to look at scores of approximately 1,000 for the SAT. And this next graphic should help you a little bit more. So what this next graphic says is if you take a look at high school GPA in pink of 2.0, and you see that number 66, and then if you look up above 66, what that is someone with a SAT score of approximately a 740. So if you have a 740 and you have a 2.0 high school GPA, you get an index score of 66. If you have a 2.0 high school GPA and you have a 1040 SAT score, then you have an 81. So I've highlighted the 81. I apologize. I should have highlighted the SAT scores as well. That is my fault. But basically, you line those two up, and that tells you what your index score is. Again, this is not a perfect measure. This is not something schools use to disqualify you or to qualify you. But what it does is give you an idea of the average student and the likelihood of you being able to get to the school. So how do you determine then if you're, when we looked at that college list of schools, whether you're a good candidate, you'll see things go higher. So you see a student who has a 2.5 GPA, who has a 1040 SAT score, they have a score of 90. You see a student who has a 3.0, they can score lesser on the SAT. They can score an 870 and they'll still have a score of 90. That's the person in orange. So if you, I'll show you here, so you can take a look. Adams State University requires a score of 80. So that if you look at here, it has one of the lower scores. It's one of the easier schools to get into. You'll see the easiest school to get into based upon grades and SAT score is Metro State University of Denver. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not a good school. It just means that they do accept students who may have lower grades or lower test scores. Because when you get onto a college campus, it's all about what you choose to do. It's not necessarily about everything that you've done in high school. You can give yourself better chances by doing better in high school, but it doesn't mean if you don't have the highest grades or test scores, doesn't mean you can't go into college, doesn't mean you can't be successful in college. You'll also see there the school that's rated highest, Colorado School of Mines, which is a great engineering school. That is one of the more difficult schools in Colorado to get connected to and get accepted to. So if you take a picture of this, this gives you an idea of the scores that are necessary. And you'll see this says fall of 2013. So this is older information, but this is really just giving you an idea. So when you try to take a look at, think about your goals for the future and maybe where you want your GPA to be. And when you're also going to be taking the PSAT this year and thinking about the SAT next year, this gives you an idea of, hey, what do I need to do to be competitive? So if you're a B student on average, you have a 3.0 average, and you want to be able to get to a school like, let's say, CU Denver, which means you need to be a 93. If we look at 3.0, in order for you to get to a 93, if you see I have 90 highlighted in orange, if you look just to the right of that, it means you need to have a score on the SAT of around 920 or 960. Now, again, that's not the absolute requirement. It just gives you the best chance. So this, again, gives you a general idea. And basically what it tells you, the higher your grades, the lower your test scores can be. Not everybody is great at taking tests, but the greater your test score, possibly the lower your grades can be. So maybe you're really smart and you check out in class, but you do really well in your test, but you don't do as well with your homework and daily tasks. So while the best position to be is good grades and good test scores, we realize that's not always the case. So wanted to share this information with you. So feel free to take a picture of this as well. And it gives you something to go back to. Take a picture of this as well. And it gives you something to go back to. Take a look at these schools. And based upon these scores, you might have an idea of whether you're interested in these schools or whether you feel like you're a good candidate for these schools. Now, again, keep in mind these are your options. Military, technical school, community college, and we just discussed college. Now, what I need you to do is go ahead and go back to your student portal. So we're going to pause for a second, give you a chance to click back on that tab, that student portal, or get logged into your student portal. Once in student portal, you're going to select See All Apps on your home screen. You're going to select My Learning. Okay. Now, if you're having problems, if for some reason it should automatically log you into My Learning. If for some reason it's not logging you into My Learning, don't worry about it. It's okay. We want you again to use My Learning, not just because I'm here today telling you to use it and leading you to it, but this is a great tool for you to use. If you can't get into it, do me a favor. Send me an email. Let your advisory teacher know that you're having a problem, and we'll make sure to help you out with it. But don't stress out if for some reason you're not able to get into My Learning right now. So again, student portal, See All Apps, My Learning should bring you here. And what we're going to do is going to have you select over to the left the Universities tab. And when you get to the Universities tab, what you'll have the opportunity to do is search. So you can see right up top in the white, you can just enter the name of a school. So you can enter a university like University of Colorado. If you just put Colorado, it'll pull up any schools with the names Colorado. If you want to put Harvard in there, it'll pull up Harvard. If you want to pull up just a state, you can pull it up, you just enter the name of the state and it'll pull up all the names of the schools with that state. But you can also, again, pull up community colleges and you can pull up technical schools. So like Pima Technical College, which is mostly health and dental careers, or Lincoln College of Technology, which is right here in our neighborhood. It is really expensive, but it does help students who are interested in auto mechanics. You can enter that search and it will help find those schools for you. Okay. and it'll tell you very specifically where. So in this case, I searched Pima, and this is what comes up. It provides you information on the degrees and majors that are available. It gives you information on the campus. And if for some reason it doesn't have much information, it can lead you directly to their website. Now, what I'm going to have you do today is, like I said, we want to make sure that you have at least two schools in mind that you might want to attend. And the easy way to do that is once you search that school, right next to the name of the school, there is a heart. So you see the heart there. I've surrounded it with a pink heart. If you just select that heart, it just adds it to the list of schools that you're interested in. So you're not committed. It just adds it to those lists of schools. It lets us know that. But then also it'll allow you to do more research down the line. Now, once you start digging a little bit further, you'll find that the college search provides you information on the cost of attending the school, again, the degrees and majors, the different type of sports they offer, and all kinds of great information, as well as helping direct you directly to the site. Now, we're not going to dig deep into this right now. Again, the main goal is making sure you understand that this exists, and also going in and adding some schools that you're interested in. Now, I'd like you to add at least two schools. So again, you'll do so by being in My Learning, going over to universities on the left-hand side, just entering in names of schools that you may be interested in. Keeping in mind, we can go back. You can, if you're interested in technical schools, you can list any of these technical schools. And based upon your GPA, what you may know, your grade point average, and your goals. I don't only want you to use your GPA, but right now, are you looking at getting a certification and maybe not going to college? Then you should add Pickens Technical College, Lincoln College of Technology, Pima, or Emily Griffith Technical College. If you're interested in going to a community college, maybe you know that a college or university is expensive, then you should look at adding Community College of Aurora, Community College of Denver. If you also know that maybe you haven't been a great student and your grades are lower, maybe you want to start at a community college first. And so again, we'll dig in a little bit deeper, and that's part of what this exercise was to show you is maybe the type of school that you should be looking at. So based upon your scores or based upon how difficult or easy you can see it is to be accepted to these schools, you can enter in any one of these schools or add two or three or more of these schools as schools that you're interested in. You can add schools that are out of state. You can search schools that are out of state. But right now, I want you to list at least two and add them into your My Learning, again, just by selecting the heart after you've searched that school. So again, pausing just to give you a little time to do that. But again, I also just want you to be able to focus on this even outside of this lesson is just do some exploration, take a look, see what options exist in My Learning and see what options exist at the school that you may have interest in. It's not committing you. So now I want you to go back to your student portal and go back to your ICAP plan. So hopefully you still have My Learning open. Hopefully you still have the Google Meet open and lesson still open. But I want you to go back to your student portal, your home screen, and select My ICAP plan. When you go there, the first thing is your personal information. Please enter in your personal information. Most of you already have that done. Okay. Right in the middle, it says current plan. Right next to that, it says historical plan. Current plan should get everybody to their 10th grade plan. However, some of you have different levels of credits. Some of you may not have your 10th grade when you select current plan. So hopefully you select current plan and it brings you to your 10th grade questions. If it doesn't, go to the right where I have in pink historical plan, and hopefully that'll allow you to select 10th grade plan. You only have to select historical plan if your 10th grade plan is not coming up in current plan. So historical plan is only an emergency. Hopefully when you select current plan, it takes you to your 10th grade questions. And again, your 10th grade quarter 3 question, we're only completing one question. Based on my current GPA And I'm also adding to that my current goals. Here are some Colorado schools or colleges that I could attend, and list two or more. So again, you added these hopefully into Maya Learning, or you will go back and add some more into Maya Learning later. But the thing I absolutely need you to do right now is through your student portal, through your My ICAP plan, through your current plan, answer this question. Which schools may you be interested in? Make sure that you save your responses when you do so. And again, I'm going to go back. This list of schools here, these are the schools that you should be considering adding in there. These are your answers. You need two schools from this list, or you can add in a technical school or a community college that I have listed here, remembering to also possibly include Emily Griffith Technical College. And then, it is okay if you're interested in the military, go ahead and enter one of the military options as well, if you're interested. That lets us know that you're interested. So make sure to save your answers. And for your next ICAP lesson, we're going to dive a little bit more into the type of extracurricular activities and programs and areas of interest that that will allow you to connect to opportunities that will help you better and be more competitive candidate for your college and career goals. So what we're talking about is the clubs and activities, the sports, the volunteering, the leadership that you do inside or outside of school that'll help you be a better candidate for the career that you're interested in the future. That can be, again, be the military. That can be community college or technical college. That can be for the college or university. Our goal is to help better prepare you to do what you want to do in the future and make you a good candidate for that because you're competing against others. So that's what we're going to do next time. Real quickly, I want to give you some information about opportunities that exist out there. The University of Colorado Pre-Health Scholars Program, for any of you that are interested in the medical field, if you have approximately a 3.0 GPA, that helps make you competitive for programs. Medical opportunities are not easy to connect with in high school. So this is a great opportunity to connect with the university and connect with a program that's going to help support you and your interest in the medical field. It's a unique and free opportunity. It supports you throughout high school and even after graduation, including scholarship help. And it only has a once a month commitment, and then also has a summer program as well. And this program is completely free. So if you look at the bottom, here's a bit.ly. You can take a picture, bit.ly/DMLK-CU Health. If you go to that, it's just a quick information form that tells me that you're interested in getting more information about this program. We're going to have presentations in February, so I want to make sure I know who's interested. Also, if you completed the beginning of the year survey last semester, that also tells me whether you're interested in health, and I will send you information based upon that survey too. So again, bit.ly/DMLK-CU Health, and it'll just ask for some very basic information. Lastly, one thing our students tend to struggle with is just making a connection, again, with a university or with something that they're interested in, or just with something different, with a program that feels like it's theirs. And please know, we have a daily program Monday through Thursday called the Metro State University After School Program that takes place from 2 to 4 p.m. That fills a variety of needs for students. And so you'll see an activity calendar here. They do cooking, they do engineering, they do homework help, they help you make some goals and help you reach your goals for now and for after you graduate. They connect you to a university. And so I want to make sure you're aware of this program, let you know that it's free. Right now it's all virtual. And they have activities like the cooking. They actually will deliver the supplies to you for cooking. When they do engineering projects, they will deliver the supplies for you for engineering. I am actually the school contact for this program, and we would love to have you connect. Easy ways for you to figure out whether you're interested. Just go to this link. The first one is bluejeans.com/777-983-013. Please feel free to take a picture. Or if you or your parents want more information, you can go to the yellow highlighted bit.ly/MSU tutor. or below, you can contact me. So feel free again to take a picture of this. If you're just struggling to get connected to something, want to be connected to other students, want to be connected to a university, want help with your homework, just want to connect, please consider joining this program. It's free, and though it is from 2 to 4, you don't necessarily have to be there 2 to 4 every day. You can choose to participate when you want to, and you don't necessarily have to be there that whole time. So get the help and support you need by joining a program like this, and let me know if you have any questions at all. So thank you for listening in. Again, hopefully you will go back into My Learning and select a couple of schools. Hopefully you have saved at least 2 schools or areas of interest in Student Portal, and I will see you next time. Take care, Panthers. Goodbye.